What's up, everyone? I know happy Monday, as I'm sure this when you're listening to it, late Saturday night, late Sunday night for racing, late Sunday night for me trying to catch up on everything. But must I say, I always love the Supercross races in Daytona at the Daytona International Speedway, right there in the tri-oval in the grass. And Ricky Carmichael always puts together a great track every year. It seems to get better every year. And thoroughly enjoyed it. Loved having him and James Bubba Stewart, or Bubba as we all know him, in the booth together. I thought they did such a good job, just having the insight from the two of them. I mean, officially they're number 2 and 4 on the all-time wins list. Thanks, Eli Tomac, but they're so good together. They bring so much knowledge and passion to it. And Daytona always delivers on, good racing every single time. I know I say it all the time. I don't think I could say it enough, especially if this one, set those DVRs. And again, if it's on Peacock, watch it. They're always on Peacock. If you have Peacock, go on there. At least watch the Daytona one for Supercross. It delivered. The track is amazing with all the different stuff that Ricky puts together. And totally delivered. Not a lot of events in, the heats and stuff, but really good racing and people chasing each other down, doing all kinds of moves. It was fantastic. If you didn't watch it, I say it all the time. I'm going to say it one more time. Go on Peacock and at least watch Daytona, because Ricky Carmichael and the effort he puts into it, by the time you hear this, he'll already be in a meeting. He's already been in meetings to discuss what to do for next year. So check it out. But on to the races. 250 Heat 1, Nate Thrasher goes wire to wire and wins after leading the whole thing. 250 Heat 2, Hunter Lawrence won it easily. 450 Heat 1, Tomac won it easily after being way off in practice and qualifying and all that at one point, like a second a lap off, but they figured it out. 450 Heat 2, RJ Hampshire won it easily. 250 LCQ, Natsky wins. Terrible luck for a last name, but Natsky, take that K away. That's a whole different world. And 450 LCQ, sadly, Jason Moran's went down hard from fourth. Marquier got the win, but he went down really hard, seemed to be okay. I haven't seen any reports. I'm sure we'll see something if he isn't, but he went down hard, and hopefully he's okay, because he stayed down for a minute after he hit. And everyone that hit there, they hit hard. It seemed to be the weekend of hitting hard no matter what it was. So glad to see him get up and move, though. 250 main event. A lot of chaos on the first lap. Now, people running off and they go into turn one. More chaos. The big one where we saw Nate Thrasher and Hunter Lawrence, Nate Thrasher in the sand on the big turn and it coming out of it. He did come down. Like, it looked like he was going down wrecking, and Hunter Lawrence just happened to be there. But, they all hit their line. He was just, lost it doing that. That's sucked, because Nate Thrasher's been on a roll, but these things happen, and he got up and kept racing. He did wreck again, but, he got up, he kept going. That's the important thing, because, again, a lot of big hits. Cross motorsports in the weekend, whether you're talking about IndyCar, Supercross, like, there's a lot of big hits. And I was glad to see him keep going, but Hunter Lawrence got the big win. Max Ansey was second. Hayden Deegan got a third. 17-year-old. I keep telling you, that kid's fantastic. Watch out for that kid. He apparently got it. His dad was good at it. He's really good at being 17, getting on the podium at Daytona, because it's probably the hardest track of the whole entire year. Ricky makes sure of it. But good to see him get there. Again, the guys you expect to see on the podium. We get to the 450 main. Dylan Ferrandis not racing after Friday Media Day wreck. I shared it on Twitter at Racing Rosinski, so make sure to check it out. If you didn't, I share a lot. But even if you can't find it on there, you don't have there, find it, because that wreck absolutely sucked, and I would have been absolutely blown away and shocked if he actually got to do the race, because he went down. He went down, and the bike came on him. They went back over, bent backwards. It was a big gnarly thing. Smart thing to sit out the race, because those were big blows. Enough to scare me. I'm glad to see, he did the smart thing and stayed out of it. Because, his body needs to heal after that, because that was a big one. Cooper Webb out front early. It might have had late rain start during the end of the 250s, carried up through them at one point. Chase Sexton having a guy holding an umbrella over him before the race, didn't like that, but it's just little things. Maybe it's because I was on field ops in the Marine Corps. We just sat there and got rained on repeatedly, or formations in the cold where we just stood there and got rained on forever and ever. And one in Daytona. It was cold. If you've been military, especially the Marine Corps, you understand. So, that one kind of, irritated me. But Webb and Tomac, man, they were the class of the field. They were right up there. Webb and Tomac, they damn near came near each other at one point coming out of the sand section, but they both managed to stay up and continue racing, which was the important thing because we got to see them keep going and they're on top of each other every week. And, again, keep saying someone's going to have to slip for the top three to ever separate. And they were right there on top of each other again in the 450s, but Eli got the lead with 11 minutes to go. Chase Sexton screwed up again, and Barsha ran into him. Barsha didn't look very happy, especially after Chase Sexton ran him off the track not too far before that. And, but he kept going. He went around the top block, didn't hit anything. And then he wrecked him. He didn't look all too happy about that. So we have to see how that carries on because, again, look at Malcolm Stewart and Jason Anderson last year. They just kept running into each other. And hopefully it doesn't turn into one of those things. We'll see. Because, again, it all depends. Like, look at people in NASCAR or other things, but they always seem to be on top of each other. So we'll see how that one works out. I'd be pissed. But anyway, rain stopped around 5 minutes to go, and Eli Tomac wins number 7 and passes Ricky Carmichael officially for third all-time on the wins list in Supercross history. Cooper Webb second, Chase Sexton third. And cool fact for all NASCAR fans out there, Eli Tomac tied Richard Petty with his 7th win there after Richard won 7 Daytona 500s. Now they're right up there. So that's pretty cool to see too. Never would have even thought about that at all. I mean, who actually puts, when you think about Supercross, I'm pretty sure the last person you think about is the king, Richard Petty. But I could be crazy on that. And Eli Tomac officially, again, third all time. He's now one behind Bubba Stewart, James Stewart, who has 50. Eli's at 49. Ricky is now officially fourth, 48. No one's going to touch Jeremy McGrath at 72. I keep saying it. He's just gone. But really cool to see that history for Eli. Ricky to be there, James to be the next guy on the list to be in the booth to interview him after the race as well. It's just really cool to have all of them there to see that happen. And you hear them all interact. But, again, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and Chase Sexton on top of one another again. And it stayed close, but where Eli was in practice qualifying to where he was at the end of the day, that should be enough to wake all of them up and scare some people because he figured it out and he was, a second off. So really good stuff. It's just Eli and Daytona. Like I said, there's just something about it. He runs really good there. Something about the history there, knowing everything there, like all the Cup guys say, all the NASCAR guys, anyone that goes there, there's just something about Daytona. And now he's in very, very small group of people. Be tied with Richard Petty for big wins there. So good for him. 250 East points coming out of Hunter Lawrence is first. Max Anstie still second, 14 back. Hayden Deegan is now third at 25 back, 450 points. Eli Tomac's first. Cooper Webb second and only 5 back. And then Chase Sexton's third, 10 back. So they're still right on top of each other the whole time, one slip. And, this keeps going, but really good racing coming out of Daytona. I was very enthused. I thought that put on the best racing of the weekend. So kudos to them. Again, there's probably stuff on my DVR that I'll have to do more bonus episodes with throughout the week that I haven't even seen just because I was so far behind because life happens. But really, good racing. Again, please go on Peacock. At least watch this one. Those Supercross boys kill it. And Ricky puts together a great track, hardest track they'll see all year. And you'll be impressed. So check it out. Get on Peacock and just watch this one for me, if anything, because it was really good. But thank you for, watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget it's available YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, even though they come really late, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. It's available, Rumble, Audible, Good Pods, Anchor. If I didn't say, you can support the show on Anchor now that they got rid of the ads and all that. That would help me out immensely. Just go on there. The link's at the bottom of the Anchor link that I share all the time. I appreciate you all. Share the hell out of this. The full episode is coming. I appreciate y'all. And until next time, deuces. Peace. I'm out. Bye.